Thank you all for coming. We're going to wait a few minutes for a couple other people to pop in. But in the meantime, in between time, this is Rejuvenate with Yemoja. We are going to be discussing our crown chakra today. Okay. So I'm super excited about it. I even learned some stuff myself doing these shows. I'm going to tell you, I am learning a whole lot. Okay. Even me talking about all this stuff is not because I know everything. I know some things, but I am right here learning with you guys. So, hey, son, I am learning with you guys. And when I tell y'all, it is such a treat to learn all of these new things. It is a huge, priceless treat. And then having, a bond panel every single week, discussing all these things really just gives it a little extra icing on the cake. I believe my guests are here, so they can go on ahead and request the box so we can get started. Okay, Jonathan. Well, when you do your intro, you can definitely tell them about it. Hey,
Nobody.
Hi, Jonathan. Hey. We got everybody here. Awesome. So if you guys would like to do your intro.
My name is Nobody. If you don't know me, you better ask somebody. I do a little bit of everything. I run the one of the number one tag shade rooms. There's a lot of little copycats and, crazy people out there that try to do it, but nobody can, do it like some people can. I have a big battle coming up September 20th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be more than flames. It's going to be a combustion. Make sure you guys be there or don't, but I'm telling you, you're going to miss out. But yeah, I stream every other week consistently and religiously to go ahead and create a balance. And that's pretty much it. Make sure to hit me with a fave. Come check me out. I'm a ball of energy wrapped up with a crazy personality. You won't be disappointed.
I am Heavenly Sin. Go on Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern, slang with me. And also on Fridays, 9 p.m. Every Friday, I will give, if you are interested, this week's documentary is Man. So that is going over the first female serial killer.
Oh.
Yeah, pull up on me.
My name is Jonathan. I am the host of Jonathan's Blast from the Past every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm also the timekeeper for Linked Over Tuesdays every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm the admin for Cooking with Cakes every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm also the admin for Family Affairs every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm also the admin for the Juice Box every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me tag you. So,
if you need an admin, hit Jonathan up.
Right.
You need an admin.
That's coming up. Okay, yeah. Jonathan,
you're
getting out here now. Okay. So, again, this is Rejuvenate with Yemoja. We're talking about our crown chakra today. And as always, I have an icebreaker question. So, and I don't go in any order, whoever wants to answer first. My icebreaker question is, what's the first album that you bought using your own? The comments too, y'all can answer.
It was probably you remember those Now CDs with all the variety and eclectic, kind of group of music? It was probably a Now CD. Banks, please.
What?
I feel like for me, it was one of Mary J. Blige's CDs back in the day, like when Real Love was out. Like, it's so
Real love.
you're ancient.
I'm looking for a real love. What's that song?
I think I'm in the ninth grade, and I actually bought Beyonce's album "Danger in Love" for the first time.
Okay. Dang.
Jonathan, you may have to come back, but we did hear that it was Beyonce. Dangerous. I think it's Dangerously in Love. He said, right?
Dangerously in Love.
Yes. My first album, I think it was the Guy album. Thank you all for that. So, crown chakra. Well, you all heard about chakras, right? From the crown of your head travel all the way down to the body. When these chakras align, when they're it allows. But if they do become blocked by stress, anxiety, or emotional trauma, your well-being can suffer. So I am actually starting backwards. I'm going to start with the seventh chakra, the top, and then by the end, the crown chakra is the seventh chakra, or I cannot pronounce it, shashra. Shashra means 1,000 petals, and it represents the lotus flower. Therefore, the color for the crown chakra is so it controls your connection with spirit as well as your sense of universal wisdom, unity, and the color violet or purple represents purity and enlightenment. So I'm sure that many of us have heard the chant. So that is associating the sound, and that is a sound that we do make, but it can only be heard when we're standing. That's why it's very important to meditate, keep inner peace that is used to activate. So with that said, I am going to be asking you a series of questions, show about these questions are related to the crown chakra. So the first question is, what or who is God to me? And what is my relationship with him?
So for me, what God is, and I know a lot of I think are conditioned to the higher power, the creator, is an entity to really be defined as he or anything. But I do feel like there is one creator, and when you look at the universe, when you look all around you, just in life itself. But yeah, I see evidence of God all around, and there would be no us without the creator. There would be none of this. And the creator is just an energy. Most people growing up in the church, they speak of the Holy Ghost or something like that. It's a feeling that takes over you. So I do meditate. When I am deep in meditation, feel this energy, this entity that I can't really explain. It's almost like sometimes the feeling of an outer body experience. And I feel like the higher power is just this entity that we all need to connect to. That's self-love. I feel like the most profound relationship that I could ever have had was, just me. And growing up as a Pentecostal Christian kid, I definitely have changed. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. So me being a spiritual being, it's very important for me to stay connected.
Pretty much what everything that Heavenly Sin just said. The only thing I could take away from that for me is I wouldn't say I'm exactly that spiritual where I could say that's important to me to believe or invest. It's more like a knowing. You know what I mean? Knowing is good for me. Knowing that there is a higher power out there that is beyond the human understanding that can do things that we can't do. You know what I mean? Create things that we can't create, like the galaxies and the world and stuff like that. That had to be created from something. It's a higher power of something. It could be, if people want to believe, it's atoms and protons and nucleus and stuff like that, then it could be that. Or it could just be a power that literally just said, this is what I want in my image. Regardless of what it is, it's higher than us. We can't really understand it, but we can look at the world and understand that there is something that, in this world, or was in this world, that is higher than us. It is a higher power that makes us inferior, or kind of incompetent in a sense. You know what I mean? Because we can't do things. We can't do certain things. We can't make the weather change with the snap of our finger and stuff like that. It just kind of has its own system.
I feel that God or source, that's what I higher power differently. gives us that power to change if we really sit down and sit still, meditate, do some crown chakra affirmations towards the end. We can manifest. We can manifest what we want, what we want, what we want change, what we want to happen. And as long as we're putting in the work as well, you know, spirit is going to assist. Yeah, nobody. People think that there's some people that, right, they think that source is right. Just like you said, just a bunch of energy that is assisting us here, Jonathan.
Well, when it comes down to the higher power myself, I'm mostly in church and I'm mostly prayer line, or I'm a crime member and I know and I sing my word up to the Almighty higher power as I do in church. Church, when it comes to higher power myself, I believe that the higher power, you can't do nothing without calling on His name, right? All right, nothing ain't gonna come to you if you don't call on His name, or if you don't pray about it, it ain't gonna happen. I know it ain't gonna happen. I learned in church that if you call on His name, right, He will open up doors that you've never seen before. He brings stuff will happen to you, good stuff happen to you that you waiting on. Sometimes you got to wait on Him, right? Right? As my pastor always saying in the scriptures, you got to wait on Him. If you don't wait on Him, right, you can't rush Him to do things that you want to do on your time. You do it on His time, so you got to wait on His time. On His time, for Him to open up doors, the thing that you wanted, wait on His time. So I learned in church that God, He's always on time, and He's always on time. He on time yesterday. He was on time yesterday. Right, when we was on the way home from Auntie, we was on the curb, we almost flipped, but God turned it around, and we made it home safe yesterday. So God was by my side yesterday. So I believe God can turn things all the way around and make it better for the good.
That is definitely amen, y'all. Ashe. Okay, well,
He just reminded me that it was Sunday, but yeah, go ahead. No, I just want to say he reminded me that it was Sunday.
He reminded you that it was Sunday. Oh.
Yeah.
So my next question is, did you have any childhood experience that negatively affected your belief, attitude, or have you been able to heal from these experiences, or is there still healing that?
There's been times, in my life where I'm not a, I guess you could say, a theologian. I'm more agnostic, very, open-minded. And there has been questions where something has happened and I questioned that if there is a higher power that is out there that is constantly looking after us as human beings, you know what I mean? That is constantly looking at and blessing our manifestations. That's what I tell the Jehovah's Witness when they knock on my door. Banks, stop knocking me out. I'm trying to. But yeah, I've had that question a lot of times where I'm just like, and a lot of times I don't know if anyone prays like this, but I pray like this. I actually pray, but my prayer is kind of ironic because when I ask for like certain things, and it's always very intangible things, but I say if there is a God, like that's the way I start my prayers. If there is a God, can you help me out with this? Can I be blessed with this, or can I manifest this or something like that? That's the way I start my prayers because I was just, my family is, they're all atheists. So it's actually a blessing that I'm agnostic.
But,
no, go ahead.
A lot of times people start your prayers off. A lot of people think that prayer has to be like some sweet, all
right.
Whatever, right? It's what you make it. Talk to source as a friend. Like I'm talking to Sen. Hey girl, I got some things I want to get off my chest, and ABC. Talk to source like that. You don't have to get all spooky deep and low, and a lot of people think that, or they overthink. They're thinking, oh God, I have to say it like this or like that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, no, I believe in the carpe diem method, like seizing the day, how you seize your day can also be your manifestation. It can be your prayer. Like, what am I gonna accomplish today? Like that's how I think.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Today I want to, I don't know, make a difference out here today by giving $5 to the homeless shelter. And then you
Right.
go down the list of what you want to do. That is also can be a prayer. A prayer is tailored to yourself. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Rejuvenate with Yemoja. We are discussing the crown chakra today, and I have a dope panel.
Some of the negative experiences that I've had as a child, both sides, good and bad. Okay, so growing up, I can remember, especially growing up in like the early 90s when there was like a lot of gang violence and stuff in Boston, just like a lot of different things going on. One of my youngest friends to die was killed by gunshot. And when you think of things like that happening, especially as a child, when you're not mature, you have doubts. Again, I grew up in the church, so it's just like, how can something like this happen to someone so young? He was an only child. His mother, she was never the same after that happened. I see her till this day, and you can tell that that just affected her in a way that was just so you hear the good die young, or why, bad things happen to good people. And just growing up, it was just like, if there is a God, then how do you allow these things? And then the flip side, I had a situation where I was laying in my bed one night, and the people that lived underneath me used to have a lot of parties, Jamaicans, amazing. Now, I don't know if this was intended for them or what, but my room ended up getting shot. And when the police came, the amount of bullets that were in my room and how close they were to me, and not one single bullet touched. Then you think of the higher power in a different way. Like, it's like, you shielded me, there's an entity or an energy that came and literally protected me, because even one of the police officers said, like, I don't know who you believe, you go to church, you need to go and thank God, because it is nothing less than a miracle that this child is still. So it's like, one side, I think, like, how could you take someone so young? But then on the other side, it's like, you. So I know that true, and I know that the creator has a way of putting those things in your face in order to make you a believer. There are some people who said that they didn't believe in God, they didn't, whatever. And then there's one thing that would happen that would turn their lives completely around. And now all of a sudden they are believing in God in the high. It's one of those things. I don't question the things that happen. We never question the good things that happen. We just celebrate it. It's like when good things happen, if you win the lottery or whatever, it's just like, oh, thank you, God. But when something bad happens, it's not like, oh, thank you, God. I've learned to celebrate negative as well as the positive, because even out of every negative situation, you can find something that's positive that comes out of it, so.
You know what? You, Sin, you're like my host to this conversation. I want you to know that, because I was thinking about things that have happened and that left me to question and my belief system in something so powerful, where it was like there has to be, you know what I mean? There has to be some type of higher power, because what happened, I don't believe any man can do. So I'm gonna get a little deep right now. You guys will get to know my little backstory, because Sin inspired me. Shout out to Sin. My mama was in a car accident in back in '96 when I was like 9 years old. So she was pronounced dead at the scene, but they ended up finding out that she was breathing. But she was in a coma for 6 to 8 months. 6 to 8 months is like almost a whole year. So the fact that she's walking around today and you wouldn't even think that she's like that made me believe there's got to be something out there. Like, man did not do this. A doctor cannot do this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, when that happened, that literally tore my world of beliefs in half, where I was in the middle of questioning literally everything in life and how everything is created, and what is going on. You know what I mean? And that time, in that specific moment, I remember going to church and trying to open my mind to accepting that, you know, there is a God, and there is a God that we preach to for these things that humans cannot accomplish. You know what I mean? So that definitely made me a believer. And then there was things that, you know, didn't, but that will always stick with me to be like, there's no way in hell that there isn't, because 6 to 8 months in a coma is just like, that's like being reborn again. That definitely set me on an adventure of curiosity. And from that point on, I'll conclude that with, I did do my research. You know, I was looking at the Bible, even though I stay open-minded, and I look at certain things like, you know, in the Bible and stuff like that. And I look at certain energies and stuff like that. And it kind of makes me sit back and be like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is a rational reason. Maybe there's, you know, a logical reason behind this and whatnot. But there's some things that's just illogical. That's you know, you're gonna coma for 6 to 8 months, then waking up and, you know, you don't even look like nothing's wrong with you. You know, of course she takes about 15 medications a day to look and walk around like us, you know, like nothing's wrong. But without those medications, she's in pain, she's this, she's that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And then anything I can think about was I ain't really had no negative things when it comes down to the higher power at all. Cause when I was growing up in the late 90s, 99 going into the 2000s, and we one day know like when I was little, I didn't know a lot about the higher power until I got baptized a few years ago. So I already know a lot when I was in high school or middle school about the higher power. So if I'm just not learning, I think I baptized a few years ago. I'm learning that's now more about what he has done and what he's now getting ready to do. So yeah, so.
Yeah, I will answer this question as well. So a little bit about me. I grew up Christian. I was forced to go to Sunday school as well on Sundays. As I got a little bit older, I started having a lot of questions, you know, about the Bible. Don't really question. I stayed on the path of Christianity, and me and my husband at the time, we just kept on having a lot of questions. He more so than me. And I cannot remember the year of, do you all remember when Sandy Hook happened? When all those kids, when that guy went into that elementary school and shot up, was it 2011, Nikki? Historian. I turned atheist that year.
It was 2012. Yeah.
I turned atheist at that point. Me and my husband. You know, how is it that a higher power is going to allow these kids to be in terror, utter terror, and experience, oh my God, shameful act?
I think that way about, you know, pedophilia, you know, all the time.
Right.
And then I start thinking like, you know what, like I said, I start thinking things like, you know, this is insane, this is crazy. And then I step back and I go into a rational zone and start kind of dissecting it. And I think about, I believe we're humans in this world and we make choices, and sometimes the choices are not good choices, and that creates who we are. So yes, I think sometimes, yeah, that's the devil, this is God, that's the devil, this is God. But then I think about how we're born in this world not attached to anyone. We're born in this world individuals, and we kind of have our own existence. So that's their existence, and it's sad, but that really makes me feel like that there's a higher evil power in the world. You know, when I think about stuff like that, when I think about, you know, molestation and, you know, murder and stuff like that.
I got divorced. I was separated in 2019. 2022, late 2022, I started following a spiritual mentor out the blue. I just started following her. From there, she had a forum going on, and somebody in the forum posted about, his name is Papa Legba, popping up. Anyway, make a long story short, I looked him up. I resonated with him immediately. He started showing himself to me, all these things like that. Papa Legba saved, Ishu saved my, that is how I came to Ifa. So I am having a wonderful journey with my ex-husband, who is now married again. He is back Christian now. So I guess what I'm saying is, our lives can turn around, And I'm gonna tell you something. I went through a lot of challenges, but sometimes we go through challenges because Source is wanting to get our attention. Our ancestors, Maya Gungun, was trying to get my attention. And so they force us to go through things, to say, you know what? So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my, you guys kind of answered my next question. Okay, this is an interesting question. Describe your connection to other living things, animals, plants, earth, and the universe as a whole. What does it mean?
For me, that means to be connected to source, to be connected to the higher power, because we are the earth. I always talk about how things were created in order for there to be a disconnect. Like shoes, for instance. They create all these fancy looking shoes, put bells, whistles, lights on them. They put a name on them. You spend all this money on shoes to look good. It's fashionable, right? The amount that we pay, it doesn't even take them half of that amount to even make them, right? People kill over shoes. People have gotten robbed for their Jordans and all of these. When you think about it, we were meant to, the shape of our feet is not even the same because of the shoes. Our feet weren't even intended to be in shoes. You're supposed to walk barefoot, to be grounded to the universe, to sit and to talk to the trees, to lay out in the sun. That vitamin D, that natural vitamin D, to be in the ocean. Everything about the earth, including plant medicines, were created to give us life. Our body was meant to heal it. Then we have all of these things that poison us. The clothes that we wear, if it's not like 100% cotton or linen or things like, it's putting toxins. And as a result, our crown chakra has a hard time of being clear and free of all of these things. That's why we walk around, we're so sluggish. Everyone's tired. No matter how much sleep you get, it's almost like you just feel drained. We go to work, we're at work all day when the sun is out, when we should technically be in the sun. And then by the time you come out, or depending on where you live, a lot of people suffer from seasonal depression. And, like in Massachusetts, we have more months that are cold versus hot. So a lot of people are spending a lot of time in the house. And as soon as we get that one good warm day and people go outside, they're outside acting like fools. Everything's getting shot up. People are dying and all. It's crazy because we are so disconnected. We can't really connect with ourselves. Like people that litter, I look at them and I'm like, occupying is so beautiful. Why would you treat elderly or animals or anyone who has a disability? Why would you, you don't even know the path that you're creating for yourself. We have to pay for all the things that just how the universe. When I think about nature and being outside and connecting with it, that means for me, I'm connecting.
So I remember telling Yemoja when she came to my stream and she was telling me about the chakras, and I explicitly told her that, I'm new to this concept. I know, I like to discuss, topics about energy and whatnot, but chakras was just a whole new concept to me, and it was so interesting and intriguing at the same time that I told her, I said, yeah, I'm going to do it, but don't expect me to know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So going into that, I would say that connecting to like the earth and, people and plants and animals and stuff like that. First, I like to state that I believe our existence is energy and information. I believe we're here to pass on information and to let it grow into something, whatever that may be. The existence to me, the meaning of life to me is passing on information. Everything's information. Plants pass on information from what they grow, their seeds, everything like that. A mother passes on information to a baby. A baby just can't grow up and be self-sufficient without getting that information passed on. So for me to connect to the earth and plants and, and shout out to the advocation of littering, because I'm very against that too. I see it that I definitely see it that way. Why would we put on this God's beautiful green earth and you want to just destroy it? You know what I mean? Or you're lazy. You know what I mean? You're really lazy, and you don't have to be. That's the thing. Make that choice not to be lazy, people, and please throw your trash away. Don't destroy our world. It's already destroyed. It doesn't need any more help. But I've always been kind of a Scientologist, so I'm very protective about like killing certain, like insects that don't harm, and stuff like that. I've always been like that. And my mama always thought I was a weirdo because I'd be trying to protect like certain insects and stuff. I'm like, they're harmless. Why would you harm? You know what I mean? That's like a cop shooting an innocent black child. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna do nothing to you. You can't do nothing to you. So I take it that deep to the point where it's like, it's not gonna cause me harm. You know what I mean? I should be able to let it live. That's a big one to me. That is huge to me. So connecting with that understanding of there's things that we shouldn't be afraid of, that we should embrace. You know what I mean? Because there is life, there is feelings, just because we don't understand them, and they might be small, animals might be small, cats and dogs might be smaller than us and everything like that. They're still living organisms. And I feel every living organism should be considered as life.
All right, so coming up to people around us, the foremost thing mine is when Sam was talking about the sun and earth like that reminds me of the book of Genesis. When God said unto us, let there be light. When he said let there be light, the sun brought it down on us. We have to be in the sun when he said let there be light. And the second part of Genesis when he said, I created the heaven and the earth. That means our environment around us. If he created heaven and earth, then we got to treat the heaven and the earth with total respect for the heaven and the earth. And how God made the earth, we got to keep it as God made it for us clean. We got to keep it clean, keep it no violence and stuff like that. So if I get into the earth, it's like keeping it safe, or doing God's work by keeping it safe and keeping it clean. It's just that the book of Genesis says so.
He makes me want to go to a Baptist church. I just want to put that out there. Like, Baptist church be lit.
Bottom of the hour. I did just want to one last question. What are 3 ways you can practice surrendering in your daily life?
Acts of service, and not just forgiving other people, but forgiving yourself. Sometimes we are very hard.
I think my number one at the top of the list is being more emotionally connected. I tend to detach myself a lot from emotions because they are beyond. I think emotions are beyond. They're like a source in itself, and I believe that it is beyond human understanding at times. So don't be afraid of emotions. Face them and invest in your emotions, not just being angry or anything like that, but take accountability for what you do. Second would be have more understanding. I think there's never too much understanding. Just keep having understanding. With so much understanding in the world, as long as we strive to understand, I think we could do right. You know what I mean? Regardless of what it is, with the understanding, we could definitely do right. And the third, I would say, don't be so inconfident and insecure with how the world perceives you or your environment. As long as you're comfortable As long as I'm comfortable, as long as Sin's comfortable, as long as Yemoja, as long as Jonathan is, that's all that should matter, at the end of the day. As long as we're content and we're comfortable with ourselves and what we're doing, that's all that should matter, because at the end of the day, it's us that have to live the life that we live. It's not other people.
Okay, for the top of my list, actually, is forgiveness because now since I'm saying forgiveness, all right, top of my list for a few reasons. Why? I think it's because I'm starting now, like around people in my family or people I'll be around. This app or something I started for forgiveness to. She said forgiveness to. It's one person I haven't actually forgave yet, and I'm glad she's here with me on this show. Today, I'm gonna go and do it now. With him to say this on this show, and doing this now, I just actually want to get my forgiveness for the castle that I did your friend wrong. It was my fault. My life said 2 castles, and it ended up being 1. It was a double click. My fault. So I'm trying to get my forgiveness from him to sin and her people when something happened. Something happened. I decided I had to get that off my chest, all right? Because I've been holding on to that grudge and beef for a long time, so I had to just let it go. We'll be good now, girl. Be good now. Number 2 is on my list is actually owning up to things that I've done, like I did there. Owning up to what I did wrong was stole the diamonds from the castle I owned up to. And finally, how the third for me is being more honest when it comes to stuff that I need or stuff around my family or people on the app, like stop being more honest. So if I ain't have it, that one, I said be honest about it. All right, honest about it the first time. So yeah, being honest is my third thing. So
I like how he kept it. I like how he kept it in the element of where we are. Like that. Yeah. That's different. Yes.
That right there alone. Well, you guys, thank you. In conclusion, each chakra represents, I said before, that helps us understand ourselves. The chakra energy, which is the crown chakra, is a realization of by bringing balance and peace to the body and mind, we can overcome obstacles, emotional blockages, and walk toward. Now, before I continue, I just wanted to read a few affirmations about the crown chakra. I am a spiritual being in human. I honor sacred divinity that I am pure, beautiful, radiant. My body is a beautiful home. I am divinely inspired and guided by the universe. I am deeply and unconditionally loved by the universe. I am worthy of unconditional love from divine. I am connected to a limitless source of creativity, abundance, health, happiness, and love. I will surrender to the loving will of I am my highest, most authentic. My highest self guides my actions and decisions. I am aligned with my soul's purpose. I am always divine and lovingly guided. I know deep, eternal peace flows to and through. I release the need to control my life and surrender to I trust my intuition and listen to the wisdom of the universe. And I am always gently held and lovingly guided by this universe. With all this, as I always say, we rejuvenate our inner to make our outer interactions. As always, keep peace, prosperity, and love in your heart. You can do your outros now. I thank you guys so much for
Okay, so like I said, you will find me streaming every Sunday, 11 throughout the week. I am streaming randomly. Fridays, the documentary will be.
I definitely want to tap into that.
Oh, wow. I just wrote it down. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely want to tap into that because I'm all about. All I watch is like documentaries and all kinds of like sci-fi stuff and everything like that. I'm very much about that documentary life. My name is Nobody. If you don't know me, you better ask somebody. But I do hypothetically, of course, with Lord Just Me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am his official co-host, where it's a show where they do hypothetical situations that is brought by real life That's pretty much it. I stream when every other week, when here and there, whenever I feel it, whenever I have the social battery to do it. I have a big battle coming up September 20th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, and for those that don't know me, I'm the operations manager for the Tag TMZ After Party, where we do like the gossip, the news, the cancels. There's a cancel coming out by Tuesday. You guys stay tuned. It's going to be a little crazy. So that's in the pot right now, and it's cooking. So yeah, but yeah, a little insight about that. Someone ran off with someone's money, and it's going to be crazy. Yep. So stay tuned. Make sure to tap into, make sure to follow me on Instagram so you can see the posts. My post does not go under 100 views and under 50 comments. So the stream retention, the audience retention is definitely there. I just hit a video that hit over 500 likes. So shout out to me. I also applied for the blue badge, because I was qualified. So I'm probably going to get verified on Instagram now. And I thought that was by followers, but no, it's by retention. It's the audience that you retain with your content. So yeah, hopefully I could get that. Oh, they ran away with 500K. Yeah. Yeah. Turn around, block the person, and made the excuse of, you got someone else involved, now I'm not paying you. But if you have a financial obligation, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter who you get involved. You should pay it back and then say, hey, you know what? I'm not dealing with you no more, but you still have a financial obligation if you made an agreement, if you made a contract, to pay that back. So they did, and they used the excuse of the scapegoat of, you got someone involved in our business and now I'm not dealing with you at all. So but yeah, that happens a lot. That's worth the cancel. It definitely is. It definitely is, because you have to understand, a lot of people do this, and when you go into someone's room, you don't realize how much of a snake that person really is. So, this is cutting the grass low, so you could be more vigilant on who you walk into and who you support, because that might end up being you. So you tell me if it's worth the cancel. But I respect everyone's opinion. The only way I do a cancel is I have to have valid receipts. It has to be a valid reason, and people stealing from other people is not right. So I think it's worth bringing attention to, but I thought you said when you cancel somebody is for something huge. Not necessarily. Not necessarily is for something huge, but the people that run and, steal people's money, I definitely want to spotlight that, because like I said, they're on the app, you know what I mean? They're in rotation, and I don't want that to happen to you, Yemoja, Jonathan, Sin. You know what I mean? People have been running off with bags for years. Exactly. But I'm here to let them know that I know and I see them, and we're going to go ahead and give them a little bit of spotlight so people know not to run into them or support that type of person. Because who wants to support a person that is going to steal from them? I don't. I don't know about you, but I don't. But yeah.
And especially even new streamers, right?
Yes, especially new streamers. So I make it my business. The reason why I decided to be the voice of a community that doesn't have the courage to, do certain things is because when I go out and I make a complaint, whether it's regardless of if it's a fast food restaurant or it's something in a store or something like that, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for the next person. I'm more of a savior than I am the help. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need the help, but I want to make a difference. And I believe I'm making a difference where I'm pointing out people that are doing these type of things, nefarious or not, like that pedophile I just got deleted from the app. I want to know that I'm supporting someone that is sexually attracted to children. I would never. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important yes, the news is very important because they tell us how to move. They tell us who to support. Be vigilant of who you support, because TAG does not do background criminal checks, and you don't know what you're walking into. So I'm here to give that spotlight and let you know what you're walking into, and at the end of the day, you're going to make that choice, whether it is based on what I provide and what I don't.
Continue doing what you're doing, nobody. You're making a
appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Yemoja. It was real last minute, and I love the fact that I had time to come.
Y'all, please come through on September 20th for his battle. I will be putting that in my calendar.
Appreciate you.
All right, last but not least, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all. It's just Jonathan on the rise. For the change that now. It's Jonathan on the rise. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all can catch me every day. Every day, except for Sunday. All right. Sometimes Sunday, if it's not at church, but every day, Monday through Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. On Wednesday, okay, y'all can be later on tonight because there was no juice bar, and there's no family fairs today. Right? So I can't into no family fairs today. We will have Cultivate cakes at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I'll be there. Right? And also we will have my other family show. Also will have the other side of the fence. All right, hosted by Top Bass Big Baldy Sonny. Also at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My other white show is right at the same time. I'll be in Nas live. For her show because my cousin's on there. On Wednesday, I'll be DJing for the Star Game. All right, I'll be DJing for Pretty Wicky's birthday party. And also, I'm gonna tell two cents. Casper, I'm gonna tell 2 cents. I need Wednesday off so I can DJ. I got a DJ to this Wednesday, so. I've had my 6th episode of Jonathan's Blast from the Past. The theme is going to be Nickelodeon edition, so that's coming up too. That's funny. I'm going to thank my wife for having me on the show. All right. All right. I'm going to thank Happy Sin for accepting my apology because I really want to get that off my chest because I miss being over there with her people, so thank God for that. All right. And, yeah, so I got ready for that show and that Cultivate cakes, and that's about it. Thank you very much.
Coming. Look at this, y'all. Look at me making and apologies and woo, child. That's what I'm talking about.
I do want to say one more thing I didn't say. Before the battle, there will be it's called a frequency party that's going to be hosted by DJ R-Type. And there's going to be a DJ there providing all the hype vibes. If you guys could show up early and you guys like music, make sure to pop in. It's going to be good. And it's going to look like the rundown, I'm telling you. So come and get your top badge. I mean, come get your top badge. It's 8:15. 8:15 to 9:30 is the party.
Yes, I'll be right there.
All right, appreciate you. Stay blessed and less stress.
TMI, I got to go to the bed. And I'm about to be outside. But anyway, I love y'all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. I love y'all.